Who pays when people stop believing that they can become more than their worst day? And when asked, most people will say, the person who failed. Now, don't let this thumbnail I put up here fool you in any way, because I'm not focusing in today's video on Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s worst day. You know, the one that everybody clearly remembers. Instead, I'm interested in something else. I'm interested in the story that came way before it. The part of his life that could have just as easily kept him from ever becoming the legend that you wound up watching on that video. Because before there was ever a number 3 race car, before there was ever a legend, there was a man who still had a choice. And that means the story isn't over.
We can still believe, 'cause BossMan is on the air.
Story continues. BossMan is on the air, broadcasting for the American dream. Built on faith, sustained by freedom, writing chapters that redefine the American dream. Let's go back for a minute. Long before Dale Earnhardt became the Intimidator, before 7 championships, before millions of fans even knew his name, there was another story. And it's the one most people have forgotten.
33rd is Dale Earnhardt of Kannapolis, North Carolina, making his first World 600 appearance, the son of the late and great Ralph Earnhardt.
Up into 6th, Darrell Waltrip drops to 7th, Charlie Glotzback is 8th, running back in 9th is Dick Brook as they go down the back straight.
He didn't come for money. Early on, he quit school after the 9th grade. He raced whatever he could afford. And sometimes what he could afford simply wasn't good enough. Cars broke and races ended long before they should have. More often than not, he wasn't proving he just belonged there. He was just trying to survive and get through the weekend. One of the hardest blows he would ever have to face hit him hard. His father, Ralph Earnhardt, a respected racer of his own right, and the man that Dale looked up to, passed away. In that, he didn't just lose a father. He lost a mentor. And for a while, everything seemed to be moving in the wrong direction. When he finally got his shot in NASCAR, things didn't just magically get better. He was criticized very often for being too aggressive, too rough around the edges. And at one point, he was unemployed, nearly out of the sport altogether. And just looking at that, there are plenty of people who believed he'd already seen the best he was ever going to be. Even after he started winning races, criticism didn't stop there. Some called him reckless and even said his style would eventually catch up to him. To anyone watching from the grandstands, it looked like another promising career headed in the wrong direction. Yet somehow, despite all that, he kept changing. He continued learning, and he never stopped adapting. He refused to let someone else's opinion become the final chapter of his story.
What makes you an intimidator?
Well, on a given day, we're pretty tough to beat when we're right, but if you get the car close, I can race with you.
This recent success that you've had, does that make you more content with the year and get you and the team pumped up?
No, not really. I mean, we've not had a good year, and we're in the top 5 in points, and that's good. That's a competitive place to be, but we want to win some races.
He's not a guy that you want to have on your bumper here at Talladega.
Maybe that's the part that's worth remembering here, because what came closest to ending Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s career wasn't failure. It was believing it might have. Okay, so here's the thing. I can't help but wonder if something changed. I mean, if you look around at society today, contrast the discussion we just got done having. Think about this. Dale grew up in a world where failure was often treated as part of the journey. You get knocked down, you get right back up. You learned something. You actually benefited from it. You got back up, you tried again, and nobody was worse the wear. Today, though, I wonder if we've started believing something different. Not that people fail, but that failure itself becomes who we are. I mean, think about it. When did we stop allowing people to grow, to change? When did making one mistake become proof of someone's character instead of simply another chapter in their life? When did we become so afraid of failing that most people have stopped trying altogether? And you can see it all around us. A business never gets started because someone is afraid it won't succeed. A dream that never gets chased because someone worries more about what people outside looking in are thinking. A relationship that never gets repaired because both people have themselves convinced that it's already too late. Sometimes the greatest loss isn't the mistake itself, it's everything that happens afterwards. Let me ask you something. Has there ever been a time in your life when someone else's opinion almost convinced you not to do something or just quit? If you're willing to share it, I'd like to know more about it, and the people watching would certainly benefit. If Dale had accepted every label that was put on him, too aggressive, too rough, not good enough, finished, would we even know his name today? Would he wound up on that track on that fateful day? Probably not. And that's what I think everything that I've talked about here today teaches us. Failure doesn't usually write the ending. People do. The moment we decide this is it, this is all it's ever going to be, that's when the stories really end. So maybe the greatest tragedy isn't the people who fail. Maybe it's that too many people stop believing that success is possible. And maybe that's a story worth thinking about as this story continues.